here we go. Someone submitted 1 million to go. 1 million, 1 million, thank you. Now 1,250,000, 1,250,000 is bid. 1,250,000, thank you. Now 1,500,000, 1,500,000, a little bit of million.
Typically when someone suggests a real estate auction, most people's reaction to that is, why would I want to give my property away? And we wouldn't want you to give your property away at all. In fact, that's what goes on in a distressed property auction. Our business is all about bringing the best value possible to every piece of property and using the auction as a way to create urgency where it doesn't exist, to create a sense of competition where it doesn't exist, and to bring the buyers out to compete competitively to buy that property on a given day.
One of the things that makes the real estate auction industry so exciting with Fine & Company is that each property is very different. Our sellers come to us seeking a solution. The solution is to reduce typically carrying costs, security expenses, taxes that are on properties that are typically high-end industrial, commercial, office buildings, or perhaps second, third, or even fourth homes that their families have enjoyed over the years.
One of the things that we like about the auction process is that it allows the seller to stay in complete control of the transaction. In a negotiated sales transaction, the buyer is in control. The buyer decides when they're going to see the property, when they're going to make an offer on the property, the terms under which they're going to make that offer, and then the seller reacts to each of those occurrences when they happen. In an auction, the seller controls all of the terms. They decide when the property is going to be shown, when it's going to be sold, what are the terms of those sales that they're offering the property under, and they can rest assured that at the end of the day, the property will close with the buyer at the price that they've agreed to.
During the marketing period, Mike reached across the country and around the world with his marketing and promotion. Within 6 months, we sold the building. We sold the building at a greater profit than what we would have had by holding it for years. This was one of the best things that we ever did. In real estate, liquidity is the problem. It's not a stock, it's not a bond that you can call your broker and it'll sell in minutes or seconds, as the case may be. In real estate, what the auction process brings in the hands of a professional like Mike Fine is liquidity, because you have a sure buyer and it's done within a finite amount of time on your terms and conditions.
In commercial properties, we've sold virtually everything that you can imagine. We've sold land from small development sites to retail development land, industrial development land, home site development sites, as well as campgrounds for the Boy Scouts of America, large ranches around the United States, mineral rights, whether they be gold mines or copper mines, and a whole slew of other types of properties, and as well as hospitality properties in multiple marketplaces. And these are typically properties which are very unique for their location, require a tremendous marketing program to expose them to a great geography, and where typically the timing of the sale is also important to the seller.
As we see the demographics of our clientele change, we've noticed that with the downsizing, relocation, and just looking at the reinvestment of the capital in their properties, they're turning to the auction method of marketing and Fine & Company to seek a solution, a definite date of when they know that their property is going to sell. For us and our team, what makes that exciting is that every property is different. Each day something can come into the office that is unique and special, and it's our responsibility to treat it as such. There's no cookie cutter solution to selling real estate at auction. You have to look and respect the property and its uniqueness, the history, the potential, what can happen to a property and its new ownership. And this is something that typically happens in 8 to 12 weeks with us at Fine & Company versus a property languishing on the real estate market and just being one in a snowstorm. We really want that snowflake to stand out, and the word is auction to get that done. At $2 million, not $2 million, little bit, $2 million, $2 million is bid, ladies and gentlemen. Now $2,050,000, at $2,050,000, $2 million is bid in the room. Now $2,052,000 advance once. $2 million is bid, now $2,050,000 twice. And it is sold. $2 million, ladies and gentlemen, $2 million, paddle number 171.